media for taking time out and coming here all the way to cover this session for the inauguration of Canadian Wood Villa at India Beach. I'm personally thankful to my friend, Member of Parliament, Lok Sabha, Chevanda constituency. My project comes in his constituency. He's a dear friend, very successful businessman, and also one of I'm proud to have him one of the owners of the villa here. And he's very dynamic leader, and he's gotten a lot of investment into Telangana, especially into this area. We are one of the big beneficiaries of his hard work, dedication, sincerity, and we expect more leaders like him and wish him a long career in politics and a very successful. I don't want to take too much of time. I just want his honorable member of parliament to guide, advise, and help us. And I have, at the end, I have a couple of requests for him that I'll come later. Thank you so much.
So you're talking business. Yes. On this common. A very good morning. His Excellency Mr. Nasser Ali Khan Sahab, Mr. Andrew Smith, Minister for Commercials and High Commissioner of Canada, and Mr. Praneeth, Director of Canadian Road, Rangareddy Garu, and so many VIPs have come from different segments. Mr. Bharat also is there, Achireddy Garu, my friend, and print and electronic media. Andarki namaskaram. Before I start, మీ అందరికీ రాబోయే బతుకమ్మ దసరా శుభాకాంక్షలు తెలియజేసుకుంటూ చాలా చక్కగా జరుపుకోవాలని కూడా అందరికీ కోరుకుంటున్నాను. So Mr. Andrew, let's talk business only, as Mr. Nasser Ali Khan has rightly said. When Mr. Achireddy Garu has called me and said that you have to come for inauguration of a wooden, I was already told Mr. Nasser Ali Khan that he is going to construct a wooden house. So I was eagerly waiting for that, but I was not aware that I am going to come and inaugurate it. Thanks for it. Thanks for the invite, Mr. Achireddy Garu also. So, but when these people were talking about the concept of wood, the construction of wooden houses in India, honestly, I was taken aback. Because that concept of wooden houses, which was there in our ancient times, during our olden days, all the houses were constructed with wood only. Wood, you will not believe, with a cow dung and the mud. So the way we were constructing wooden houses, left, right and center, all the wood, I think it got exhausted and it got extinct also. So from then we took a step back saying that this is very dangerous because for the days to come, for the generations to come, we are accountable and answerable. Whereas if all the wood goes as an extinction, it will be difficult for us to survive. So those were the days wherein we have started. As far as the wooden concept is concerned, I was talking to Praneeth at length during the last 1 hour. He was briefing me about the concept of wood, the system, the legalities of importing wood from other countries to this country. I really appreciate that. The only thing what we didn't have and what we have in your country is that for all the wood what we have cut, we have never planted plants during those days. And he says that only 1% of the forest can be cut every year, whereas we never had any limit for that. I'll tell you very honestly, to be a contradiction, today also getting a teak wood for the furniture in India, even including me also, is very difficult to get it official. So that is the situation wherein we lie. We know that wood is definitely a classy thing, a royal thing, and the elegant look what we get can be got only with the wood, but the only availability was an issue for us. We know that it is a good insulator for heat and cold, and as far as the architect is concerned, the architect also will love to go for the wooden structures because he can play around with the architecture also, whereas when it comes to concrete structure, it's very difficult. Whereas now we have become accustomed to all the concrete houses here. You go anywhere in the country, it is 100% of concrete structures. And second thing, when it comes to straight to the construction of a house also, I was talking to Mr. Achireddy has said that the cost of the wooden house is definitely more than compared to concrete. And when it comes to constructing a house, you take any Indian, you take any Telanganite. I come from this region, this is called as Telangana, and I extend a very warm welcome from this area personally because I'll be also asking you for certain business for my state of Telangana. So when it comes to an Indian, the nature of the Indian the psyche of the nature is we always go for the bargaining part. Let it be whatever material, right from sand, stone or concrete, cement or the wood or anything. People generally bargain things here. So that people have to come out of that concept, people have to come out of that mode to take a step ahead and go for wooden houses. Because we should not think of costing when it comes to wooden houses, as Mr. Acharya was saying, almost 150 times out in the wooden houses. So the people should be ready, people should understand the concept. My only concern is, whenever we make wooden furniture, basically wood in India is used for either furniture or for the cupboards here. So whenever we have the wooden furniture, wooden cupboards, people talk about termites. I don't know how you're going to take care of that. And we have too much of variations of temperatures here. The extreme weather, the extreme cold. It was raining on the road, on the outer ring road when I was coming in, it was so hot here. So these fluctuation of weathers and too much of rain, the moisture will definitely increase. The increase in moisture will definitely result in the swelling of the wood. That is what we have a concept. You have to enlighten us about that thing. And the general expansion also. Most of the doors which were made of wood generally expand during winter. And it becomes very difficult for us to close the doors also. That is the concept what we have. So we have to come out of that thing also. And I was told that the maintenance also is on the higher side when compared to the concrete houses. We have to address that issue. And when it comes to combustible also, we all know that wood is combustible, and we have to take care of that part also. When you look into the other side, I definitely know that the architects will love to design the houses for their customers with good. We know that it is a good insulator. We know that the tensile strength of the wood is also very high. The only thing is, for the destroying of the wood, we have to add some preservatives in India. So if you look into all these concepts, if you can address these issues, I think definitely the days to come, people would definitely love to have wooden houses, including me also. So I was already talking to Mr. Pranish and Andrew while inaugurating that generally wooden houses make too much of sound during night or whatever it is. So when we walk also, the down floor people will generally feel the sound. But as Mr. Pranish has said, that is not going to happen with the wood what they are going to supply to India. So as far as things are concerned, things are definitely rosy in India, because if you can give us the technical expertise, the knowledge, the construction of houses, generally people in India say that you just show something to the Indians, they will fight it. So that is the nature of what the Indians have. So you just give us the technical know-how, the training part, we'll definitely go ahead with that. I can assure you from the government side of government of Telangana, and also being a member of parliament, I can as well address it in Delhi part also. What all support you need to, from our side, from the government side, to import wood from Canada, and my only request is it has to be cost effective. As far as the duties are concerned, the structure, I don't know what structure do they have, but if you can definitely influence upon saying that, because as Mr. Pradesh was saying, if you can focus on the wooden part, the stress on the sand and availability of stone also will go down. There is too much of stress for availability of sand and stone here. So if you can address one issue, the other issues will be addressed, including water also. As he was saying, in the concrete dabba, mottam wooden tode chestunaru వీళ్ళు. సో మనకు ఆ స్ట్రెంత్ మనకు వీ హ్యావ్ ద ఇష్యూస్, మనకు ఇసుక దొరకట్లేదు, స్టోన్ దొరకట్లేదు, వాటర్ ఇష్యూస్, ఇవన్నీ ఉన్నాయి. ఈ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ డెఫినెట్గా అడ్రస్ చేసుకోగలుగుతాం. So wishing you all the best, good luck, and I 100% extend the whole support from this government and from the government of India. Whatever best opportunities we have, we'll definitely give you. But in return, let me talk about the business. I was told that Canada is definitely a very rich country, and we would definitely look into investments from your side into this state of Telangana, because this is the youngest state which was formed in the country, and the way it is growing in multifold activities, you name any segment, we are number one. Let it be real estate, let it be IT sector, the pharma business, the education business, medical lab, all segments we are doing. Agriculture, we are doing wonders in agriculture also. So I honestly request, I'll come to you, I'll meet you in Delhi also, but we are looking forward for that. Thank you, good luck to you all.
Thank you very much, Ranjit. Very interesting questions, and I'm sure we have answers for all of them. Andrew Smith is Minister Commercial, High Commissioner of Delhi. He is also an architect. Thank you so much, Andrew, for joining us today for the inauguration. I'm honored to have you with us. I'd like you to say a few words to the media and also to my friends. Thank you, Andrew.
Good afternoon. And to our special guest of honor as well, Dr. Reddy, let me assure you that Telangana is in our heart as well. My colleague Vikram Jain here heads up our trade office. We've made a commitment to the state, so we will be here for the long term. Let me begin by thanking and congratulating Mr. Nasser Ali Khan for this project, to establish the Canadian Villa Wood project here at BTR Gardens. I wish you all the success with this project. And to Pranish, to Peter and Stan, for all of your hard work and dedication to the promotion of Canadian technologies, Canadian wood, and Canadian know-how in making this happen and bringing it to the Pearl City of Hyderabad. I can assure you that this project is in my heart as well. As was mentioned, I come from the Faculty of Architecture. My wife is a graduate from architecture, and my father-in-law was one of the big housing developers. But my role today is to talk about Canada and India. So as many will know, we enjoy a very robust relationship. But we are poised to build an even stronger and deeper relationship following COVID. And sustainable housing could be one of those planks that goes forward as our relationship builds. But let me talk briefly about the significance of the Canada-India relationship. This is an economic relationship that is approaching $100 billion now. If we look at the trade in goods and services, if we look at investments two-way, remittances, the students going from India to Canada, it now approaches $100 billion. Our relationship pre-COVID, in terms of economic figures, was exceeding every metric. In 5 years, trade increased 62%. Pre-COVID, India was one of our fastest growing major trade partners. Our foreign and trade ministers speak regularly, and our prime ministers also communicate. In fact, the last major foreign visit to Canada pre-COVID was Minister Jaishankar. Throughout the COVID pandemic, our governments have extended strong support for one another. Whether it was the exchange of pharmaceuticals and medical devices when each country needed, to the repatriation of our citizens during the early days of the COVID lockdown. But each country has been there when the other needed it. Canada-India ties have tremendous social and cultural bonds. Canada is home to the 8th largest diaspora of Indians. India leads in every class of immigration to Canada now. Canada is also the favored destination for Indian students. 40% of students, international students in Canada, now come from India. And that total has surpassed the number of Indian students in the UK, or Australia, or even the USA now. Our trade cooperation with India and Canada has opened new channels and new sectors, particularly here in Hyderabad. My presence these last couple of days was to explore the pharmaceutical and life sciences sector, to which Hyderabad has clearly punched above its weight. But also in jewelry, mechanical appliances, aircraft, textiles, engineering, software, steel. We have a multitude of relationships across various sectors. From Canada, India acquires its wood pulp, electrical machineries, helicopters, fuels, fertilizer, pulses. In fact, SpiceJet is the second largest operator of Canadian aircraft, the Q400. Last week alone, I attended the North India Gem and Jewelry Trade Show in Delhi. It was my first in-person trade show. But did you know nearly $1 billion in Canadian diamonds makes its way into India every year? Our commercial priorities here in India are targeted at India's policy objectives and the sectors where Canada has a competitive advantage. So these priorities line up to supporting India's energy security ambitions, whether it's the increase in export of conventional and nuclear energy to the renewables, helping India meet its substantial urban and transportation infrastructure needs, whether it's the provision of investment, technology, or services or equipment. It's through enhanced education and skills training for greater collaboration between Canadian and Indian academic institutions. Canada and India alone have over 600 education MOUs. It's the commercial research and development that takes place in the digital industries, the IoT, AI. Just last week alone, we had a bilateral cybersecurity event, Canada and India, and there was over 500 registrants. And it's also increasing food products and fertilizers to support India's food security needs. Canada is recognized as a global leader in sustainable forest management. And this is what our guest of honor was speaking about. Wood construction saves the resources such as water and sand that are in short supply here in India. Canadian forests meet the environmental, social, and economic needs of current, and they will for future generations. Our stringent forestry laws, skilled forestry professionals, comprehensive monitoring, compliance, enforcement, all contribute to underlining our global reputation. So I would encourage Indian companies to learn more about sustainable housing or other sectors of interest as well, because both myself and Vikram are here to represent Canadian commercial interests in the region.